Well, the stalemate at Richmond is finally over with the conclusion of the 7 Days campaign, and Lincoln, I think it's time to replace McClellan. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And this week, Prospector's the end of the 7 Days campaign.
How'd it go?
And time for McClellan to go bye-bye, because he fucked up.
Oh, that's how weird, how shocking, how strange that we would start this week with McClellan either fucking up or not doing anything.
Well, it's a long week. We have a battle pretty much every single day this week. High casualty counts. In fact, so high that we actually supersede what we lost in the Revolutionary War in just this week alone. So buckle up, Johnny. It's a long one. It's bad.
We freed an entire nation of folks with fewer casualties than
we had
this week.
6,800 deaths total for the Americans in the Revolutionary War, and we're going to supersede that this week. So buckle up.
Okay.
On June 27th. Yeah, on June 27th, Johnny, Lee had no choice but to attack again. As we left last week, he had his first, this is the third day now of the 7 Days campaign, but it's his second day of him actually doing stuff.
Yeah,
he
counterpoint.
attacked with AP Hill last week and got pretty thoroughly trumped by Porter's division.
Yeah, counterpoint. So he does have a choice other than to attack. He could surrender in this war, and
he's not going to do that. So he's got the choice of attacking. So he is going to attack Porter again at Gaines Mill, where McClellan has ordered Porter to hold at all costs, while his army is gonna do nothing really to assist.
So all right. So McClellan's comfortable telling other people to do shit that are not under his command directly. But
and it's really bad here because as Lee is attacking Porter, he pretty much has made a big hole right to Richmond. So McClellan could have let Porter stay there and move the rest of his army forward a little bit, but he's not gonna. By mid-afternoon, Lee has thrown his full weight at Porter's forces, and Porter has caused extensive casualties against Lee's. Jackson is still MIA, and Porter holds a strong position right until pretty much the sun sets, where he finally has to withdraw because he's been fighting pretty much all damn day against superior numbers and done his best, but you can't really ask everything for him.
The sun's going down, lights going. They got to set up camp and resume at probably 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or some bullshit like that, because that's what they always do in these wars.
No, it's not that. It's not the late. The sun's going down. This is late evening. This is like 9 o'clock. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
This time of year is more like 9:10.
Yeah, 9:10. Yeah.
I mean, good God.
So the Confederates are able to punch a small hole into Porter's forces, but with confusion and delays on their front, Porter is able to withdraw across the Chickahominy River and join the remainder of the Union Army, the Army of the Potomac.
So we like that. That's a good thing. He got some people out, and now we can set up proper defenses.
Reunited. Yep. Union's going to lose 894 killed, 3,107 wounded, 2,836 missing or captured, to a total of 8,000. Yeah, it's a total of 8,750 casualties on the Confederate front, though, so a lot less than that.
Good Jiminy Christmas.
By the by, as we discussed
that day,
last week,
is this the worst day we've had?
It's a bad day. I think Shiloh's still been the worst. But
it's close.
It's close. It's a significant battle. Confederate numbers, I do have to continue to remind audience at home, they are underreporting their numbers.
Yeah.
They're not even giving us a specific killed. They're just giving us a general blanket, like around 8,700 died or wounded.
So probably closer to 10.
Yeah, probably closer.
1,000 we would expect. And this is based on burial reports we've done previously, right? Where we actually counted the numbers of
the number of bodies that we're burying versus what they're saying. Yeah.
Counted them as we hucked them into their mass grave. These former neighbors, also American citizens of ours.
Yes. At dawn on the 28th, it appears that McClellan will now have to withdraw his forces as Lee has gained the advantage over the last couple of days, although with heavy losses for Lee on his front. Again, not making any sense here because McClellan, who says he has to withdraw, still outnumbers the Confederates and has inflicted more casualties up to this point than he's gained, so keep it up.
McClellan,
just stay.
No, we've determined McClellan only likes to fight with 100-1 odds or better.
Yeah, that's true.
And so if he's 8-1, 12-1, whatever the case is, that's not enough. He plays it safe and does nothing and ruins our chances for winning this war. And in any sort of timely fashion is probably going to drag it out to 20 years or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, it's not looking good here. Northern papers are split, calling this the Great Skedaddle 2.0 in regards to the last Great Skedaddle of Battle of Bull Run. Or the strategic withdrawal. It's two. Some papers are calling it a withdrawal. Some papers are calling it a Great Skedaddle. But either way,
quick question. The newspapers who are calling it the Great Skedaddle 2.0, I would imagine Lincoln is sending in his Secret Service and arresting everybody reporting it that way.
Lincoln's not
and executing them in a firing squad for treason.
No, none of that. No. Now, good news out in Vicksburg. Johnny,
that is good news.
Vicksburg, way out west. Farragut's fleet moves a large battery of land cannon into position around Vicksburg. Casualties are very minimal, proving two things. A, that he can move his fleet pretty much freely in front of Vicksburg without any substantial casualties. Like, he's getting fired upon, but it's like, it doesn't really much matter.
Yeah, no, just a couple dudes dead here and there. There's not that many letters we have to write home to mothers who are mourning their children.
Yeah. 2 here is that he realized that it is not possible for the fleet alone to take Vicksburg. So this is going to be... We're going to need a siege here. We're going to need some infantry to help out. So
they're really hanging on... Fuck, these Southerners really don't want to give up their way of life.
It is the last major city on the Mississippi that's not in Union hands.
On tight. Like, you figured... I don't know. Take some inventory, Vicksburg. Take a look around. Like, what are you hanging on to?
It's not a position that you're going to be able to hold forever. I mean, you are isolated and cut off. Like you're also,
everything around you is fallen. Just throw your hands up. Welcome them in, give them some free drinks at the tavern or whatever. Hope they don't rape and pillage your entire city, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, go for there. Back to Virginia here, though. McClellan is going to withdraw his forces towards James River, but made sure he burned the Lee family White House before he left. So fuck you, Lee. You're going to burn your home down.
Love it. I mean, that's war, right? That's how you do war.
That's how you do.
I imagine it was unoccupied at the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not occupied.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's how you do. That's
the Union Army of the Potomac had been using it as like
a
base or whatever. Essentially, it was headquarters, and they just burned it as they left. McClellan will send an angry telegraph to Lincoln saying, and I quote, "I have lost this battle because my force was too small." No, it wasn't. You outnumbered Lee. At every point in this campaign, you outnumbered the Confederates. At one point, nearly 4-1. And you did nothing with it.
This dude had the balls to tell Lincoln he didn't have enough folks fighting for him.
Make it even worse, the War Department is going to delete 2 lines of this telegraph from actually reaching Lincoln.
Wait, hold up. Intentionally?
Intentionally, because they thought it would not go well, which I don't know why, because I would have let those lines in and let Lincoln just let Lincoln have you just.
I mean, anyway, you have to let McClellan bury himself, right? At this point.
Yeah. Those lines were, and I quote, "If I save this army now, I tell you plainly that I owe no thanks to you or any other persons in Washington. You have done your best to sacrifice this army." He is putting this all at Lincoln's feet, which, no, it's not. I don't, like, Lincoln, dictator, sure, fine, great. 4-1 at Yorktown, and you did nothing. You brought in big siege guns because you thought that was necessary. You wasted time, and you let Johnston grow his force until we finally wounded Johnston and then replaced by Lee. But still, like you,
Tommy, I'm not one to call for executions or nothing. Except in this case, because McClellan can go ahead and get fucked, and he can get executed because this is all bullshit and gaslighting. Yeah, it's all on him. And garbage, and this guy needs to go to hell because what he is Lincoln literally he is the reason this war's still happening.
Yeah, Lincoln is going to respond to McClellan's telegraph by saying, "Save the army at all costs," which is a joke because you still outnumber Lee, and you've caused more casualties to Lee than he has to you. So just bunker down and let Lee smash himself against you. Lee, he'll do it. He's proven he'll do it.
Be an army.
He'll just headlong. Yeah. Right at you, over and over and over again.
Keep those cannons loaded.
Playbook. Just let him do it.
Yeah,
you'll outlast him. That's all you got. All you got to do is outlast him.
That's all you got to do is outlast him. And that's all the North has to do in this entire. Like that's our entire plan is to outlast and constrict, and just say, hey, we got supplies you don't. Come back.
Well, Johnny, on June 29th, Confederate forces are going to pursue the withdrawing Union forces at the Battle of Savage Station. Jackson is again accused of being missing in action, while the disorganized Confederate advance isn't able to break McClellan's rear guard. The Union rear guard is able to give Union enough time to withdraw, but it cost them leaving about 2,500 wounded and sick behind at Savage Station. Again, they're causing good casualties against the Confederates as they're pulling back, but they are forced to leave behind some wounded and some sick because, they can't keep up with the Union Army. So good luck in Andersonville.
So a little bit of, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Mentality
Not
here.
Great.
And this whole... I assume No Man Left Behind comes later.
Probably.
Military, U.S.
Not right now.
History.
There's definitely men left behind in this one. 2,500 specifically to be.
Lots of them. Lots of them left behind. Save your ass at all costs, especially if you're McClellan's army, because y'all ain't doing shit anyway.
On June 30th, Johnny, is the Battle of 8 Names, which couldn't decide on any of the names here. We've got White Oak Swamp, Fayers Fan, Glendale, Nelson's Crossroads, Charles City Crossroads, New Market Road, Willis Church, and Turkey Bridge. Pick a name, guys.
Why?
Pick one.
Why? Just any. Why? Who is there in charge?
It's a one-day battle, and then all these areas are encompassed in that one-day battle.
But all of those areas, they're just looking for fame, right? They got to pick one.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, someone's got to take the first letter from each one of those locations, turn it into the anagram thing or whatever, set it up, spell a word, bang, you're done. That's the name of this battle. No one's going to remember all 8 of those names 200 years from now.
A battle by any other name, Johnny, is still with the same result. Lee is going to try to attack McClellan's forces from the north across White Oak Swamp. McClellan is surprisingly going to actually recognize Lee's movements in advance before they are conducted, and he's going to put it to a halt. He's going to put the troops in the right place at White Oak Swamp and, stop Lee in his tracks.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. You learned how to do some soldiering here.
Oh, well, I guess this makes up for the last, 18 months of insufficiency and horrible generaling.
Yeah, he saves the army here. Jackson is finally in the field, although he is accused of not doing what he's supposed to be doing, but he's there. He's there. General Longstreet is charged with trying to break the line and is unable to break the Union lines. With this battle, McClellan was able to safely reach the James River and effectively prevent the assault from Lee to cut off his forces and destroy him entirely. Mission accomplished. McClellan's forces are now in a solid defensible position. They're at the James River. They have complete, easy access to get across the river. Mission accomplished. Army safe. In that, the Army safe. Not mission accomplished as in the war should have been over 2 months ago.
Right. Not mission accomplished as in McClellan did anything. It's just now he has all of these troops that should have been fighting and dying for this great country. Now they're all safe across the river, not doing anything again.
Reports are wide that Lee has lost a substantial portion of his army in this assault, and a very heavy cost here. Lincoln is going to write a telegraph to the papers, to the people. He's just going to say, and I quote, "The loss of enemies does not compensate for the loss of friends," because this is still a bloody battle on both sides. Like the Union, like we're causing more casualties, but it's not like we're only getting 1 or 2 guys of ours dead to like 10 of theirs. It's like we get 2 to ours to like 3 of theirs.
Also, we are
still heavy.
We are trying to reunite my country a little bit, and so loss of an enemy might also be construed as a loss of a friend.
Yeah,
a little bit of the same thing.
Same.
On account of cousins and families and national brotherhood and things like that.
McClellan's army is secure around Mayvern Hill. Lee is going to try one last push to destroy the Union army in the final day of the 7-day campaign on July 1st. McClellan is in very good defensible positions with his artillery in prime position to just obliterate anything that comes at him.
And then he did?
On Mayvern Hill. Lee is going to decide to attempt to do a frontal assault, because that's his playbook. He doesn't have anything else.
Yeah.
Go straight through. And it doesn't work for him.
They got a little bit of the cannons to the face.
He's going to get a little bit of cannons right to the face. And it does not bode well for him at all. Lee's going to try to start with like an artillery barrage, but it becomes very, very clear that the Confederate guns are no match for the Union guns, both in the style of gun that they have and in, of course, the positioning of those guns.
Well, and also likely the supplies, the number of bullets.
Yeah, most of the Confederate guns are smoothbore. They don't have the range that the Union rifled guns do. The rifled guns are in better position. Like this was a moot point for the Confederates to even attempt to use their artillery here, but they try, and the assaults proved to be a waste of life for the Confederates, and by nightfall, the Union forces were able to continue their withdrawal across the river towards Harrison Landing. Over the past 2 days' battle, Union would lose 724 killed, 4,245 wounded, and 3,067 missing or captured. The Confederates are going to lose a reported total just under 9,000 wounded and killed and missing. Total for the campaign here over the 7 days campaign, the Confederates are going to lose just under 20,000 of their 92,000 men, or 20% of their entire force. The Union are going to lose 17,849 specifically, because we're keeping track. Yeah. Fuckers. Of their 114,691 men, or approximately 16%. So we lose 16% of our army to 20% of theirs.
Oh, so we win.
And they have a smaller army than we do to begin with. Yeah. So that 4% doesn't seem like much, but in the grand scheme of things,
but when you break it down and you consider writing letters home to families, it adds up.
That's huge. Now, again, remember, I said like just under 9,000 total killed. In the Revolutionary War, we have almost 40,000 casualties in these last 7 days. Now, that's casualties. It's not just killed, but that's wounded.
No, sure. But yeah, that is jarring.
This is
no longer, and it hasn't been for a while, but it's
not fun.
Yeah, it seemed like it seemed like a game, like a fun little North versus South. Let's do this, and now it's hitting real.
Like 40. That's
it's a lot bigger than town.
Like my hometown isn't even anywhere near 40,000. Yeah. I've never seen 40,000 people in my life, and 40,000 people just lost their lives or had their lives substantially altered. In 7 days.
Yep. Yeah. And that's that. And more to come. By the way, guess what? And no.
Yeah, because the Union is not surrendering, and the Confederacy is definitely not surrendering after this. So we're in it for the long haul. No more talks that the war's going to be over by Christmas. Sure shit not now. Thanks, McClellan. Anyways, out in the Mississippi, Federal Colonel Sheridan will defeat Confederates near Boonville, Mississippi, giving us at least something of a victory here this week.
Yeah, sure.
Lincoln is going to sign 2 acts. The first, the income tax with 3% on income between $600,000 and $10,000 a year, and a 5% tax on anybody owned.
He's doing what?
Yeah, we now have to pay an income tax, Johnny. If you make $600 or more a year, which you don't have to worry about.
Okay, all right, it's just for those rich folks.
Pyrite doesn't care. I have to. I make $100 a month.
Look at you, Mr. Lieutenant. Must be fucking nice.
My $105 a month. Now that's more than $600 a year. So now I have to pay 3% on that. Ooh. Anybody making more than $10,000 a year has to pay 5%. But that's a joke because who makes more than $10,000 a year? That is an absurd amount of money. Nobody makes that. This is ridiculous.
Oh, no, the big wigs, dude. That. Hey, I know some of them big wigs are making that.
The guy who makes this, Colt.
I think we got 7-8 people in this country that are gonna have to pay 5%. They're gonna be pissed. I'll bet they find ways to make it so they don't pay anything in the long term.
I bet you're right. Another act that Lincoln is going to approve is the Union Pacific and Central Pacific Railroads. His idea here is to build a transcontinental railroad to connect the East to California. Coast-to-coast railroads. You'll be able to hop on a train in New York City, Johnny, and wind up in Los Angeles, California. That's his goal here.
So, I mean, what the fuck kind of fantasy dream is this, Tommy?
I do think. I mean, does he know we're in a war?
Also, is he aware? I mean, first of all, Confederates just come and blowing up your railroad there, but it's a whole lot of land they got to get through, and a whole lot of folks that might not want you building in their land. Not that we've cared before, but.
Now, if you're curious about the Transcontinental Railroad and its history, check out Historic Hindsight. Wink, wink. This is futuristic, like wink, 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 nudge, nudge. Like you're not actually
breaking that fourth wall thing else. Here. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, the third breaking it. We're breaking it. Go look at that one. Anyways, on the second, Johnny, Lincoln is gonna ban polygamy in the territories. So you Mormons out in Utah territory who think that you can have multiple wives, you can't.
What?
No more of that. No more polygamy out in the territories. I don't know why you did this.
How serious is the punishment for this, Tommy? Because I was planning on getting back into the States.
Get a couple of wives? Well, it's specifically he said the territories. I don't know if it covers the states.
So it's still if I bring my wives back into the States, we're good.
Yeah, you're probably fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't even worry about it. He's also going to build an agricultural and mechanical schools, like set aside a land grant to any area that wants to build these schools. So that's something, I guess. I don't know what.
What is it? Did he forget
that we're at war? I think he did because we got like 4 different bills being.
I get you still have a country to run, and that's fine. That's grand. That's
Fire McClellan. Whatever, but that should have been issue number 1. Fire McClellan.
Yeah, where is that on it? Is this the third? Was it the third item on the list of ending?
Nope, doesn't happen this week, Johnny. Nope, does not
doesn't even make the top 10. That's great.
Doesn't even make the top 10. Nope. This week is going to end on July 3rd with continued withdrawal of McClellan's forces in a bombardment at Vicksburg, which again shows that it's going to be a long campaign at Vicksburg with daily bombardments until that falls, which maybe will be next week, but I kind of am doubting it. I guess we'll have to stay tuned for that. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We talk about all kinds of fun things like the Transcontinental Railroad and why Jefferson and Adams didn't like each other for a while.